Hey, what's up, guys? Rampedi here. It's another week and it's another episode. Bafana Bafana against Morocco. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
Hugo Bruce, I got this. I mean, if the minister can talk to the players, I can too. We're here, gentlemen. We're here. We've arrived. You know, I expected you guys to get here. That was my expectation. Was definitely the knockout rounds. And you guys have certainly done that. And you know one thing I love the most? Is you're feeding a lot of people some humble pie because they didn't expect you guys to get here. Morocco's next. And the thing is, a lot of people are going to say to you, it's Morocco. It's the best team on the continent. They reached the semi-finals of the World Cup. So what? You look at those upsets. Those are the upsets that's happening out there. Ghana's out. Cameroon's out. Well, that wasn't an upset, but you get my point. Algeria's not even here. And you know what? We beat them last year. We did. They came to South Africa and we showed them. So don't be telling me you can't do it because it was just now. What I want from you boys is to believe in yourselves. Ronman, you save what you gotta save. You know what you need to do. And the defense, Moegoe, no one goes past you. And Modiba, you know you're the postman. You just deliver. That's all you do. And as for you, Mokoena and Sithole, what you did against Tunisia, you bring that again to these North Africans. Again. And Zwane, I want you to dance like you've never danced before. Look, don't be breaking defenders' legs now like you did against Namibia, but score those beautiful goals that you did. And Mahopa, you stand in between those defenders and you don't move. And that's for you, Persitao. Believe in your ability, man. But please do me one favor. Pass the ball. Just pass the ball. Now you go out there and you show them what we're made of. And you go give them the summer car. Now that I'm done talking to the players, right? We have a big guest, guys. Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Morocco Swallows, Lebogang Cheeseboy Mokoena, Bafana Bafana International. Now I asked them straight. Tekomodise, Gift Leremi, Lodge, and as well as yourself, moved from Orlando Pirates to Sundowns. Why? Another big guest on Playing the Field with Shakes, someone who has played for big clubs, guys. I'm talking about really big clubs here. Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, and Morocco Swallows as well. A Bafana International and a career that has longevity. Lebogang Cheeseboy Mokoena, how are you?
It's morning, Bliss. Nice, and thank you for having me.
No, man, it's always a pleasure, man. I want to know this, and maybe it's a story from a long time ago and not everybody knows. Cheeseboy Mokoena. Like, how did you get the name Cheeseboy?
There's a friend of mine, Opri Mutale, who I used to play with at the development, Lebogang Cheeseboy. So whenever we prepared for games, Machitana Shapadi haircut and whatnot, so I prepared my cheese corp. So I always had my head-shaped bowl. So then they were calling me cheese. You know, and then got promoted to the first team, and me being the last born, and they just put the boy after the cheese and say, "Hi, cheese boy," and then it just got stuck with me.
Oh man, that's a crazy story. That's very interesting, you know. But everything is going well though for you at this current moment.
Yeah, so I would say 50-50. You know, having stopped playing the game and having to lose my partner, you know, just had to restructure a lot of things in my life as well, change the routine, and also change some of the plans we both had, and also for me personally. So yeah, I'm going through a bit of a change, but I think I should be settled in time.
Yeah, man. Hey, again, I must just stretch out my condolences again. You're really strong for going through what you're going through, man. There's a question that I always had in mind that I wanted to ask. So, Lebogang Cheeseboy Mokoena goes to Pirates, moves to Sundowns. Tekomodise, Pirates, Sundowns. Opa Manyisa, Pirates, Sundowns. Godfrey Sopula, Pirates, Sundowns. Gift Liremi Pirates Sundowns. I mean, the Works have done it, and we have another one recently that has done it. Temingosi Lodge Pirates Sundowns. Tell me, Cheeseboy, and you guys are moving at the height of your careers. It's not like you're moving when you're finished. Why do players go? Why do you guys move from Pirates to Sundowns? What is it about Sundowns?
I'll talk for myself. For myself, I would say sometimes the decisions comes from management, and sometimes when as a player you don't know. You were just told in your look, I don't think the team will be needing your services, and then have an offer go Lord go. But I think Lodge has been pending. I think over the years there's always been that speculation, So I think maybe finally in the boardroom they decided to settle it, because with me, I also did not know my move about Sundowns. I had a fallout with Coach Kroll at the training session on a Wednesday, and then he told me to go to the office to meet up with Floyd Mbele, and then I told him, no, let me meet up with the chairman, because the chairman was busy with the World Cup preparations. And then after that, I went to the meeting with Floyd, with my dad. And then they said, okay, I must go back to training with the coach. They still got to training. Coach didn't have any interest because and the team was training. We were training behind the goals. And then my agent calls me on Monday, says, let's meet up for something. We meet up. And then all of a sudden, the car's driving into Klotkorp. And I got the agent told me, look, Sundowns is going to give you a contract. Everything is sorted with Pirates. So officially now you're a Sundowns player. So I didn't know much about the move, but it eventually happened. But I know it sent out a bitter taste to the supporters because it was done secretly.
I mean, wow, that's interesting. You didn't know about the interest from Mamelodi Sundowns, of course. So if I was to ask you this question all those years ago, if you didn't have the fallout with Coach Kroll, would you have actually left Orlando Pirates?
No, my dream and my aspirations was for me to stay at the club and probably be one of the longest serving players. Having been at the club from the age of 12, I mean, I spent my whole life there, and they developed me into being a player that I am, and that was our wish, and that was the late Zopakosa's wish, to have most of the development players playing throughout their careers at the club, because the club was focusing on developing players and not going so much into the market, So unfortunately that fell out, after Siso passed away and we were neglected a bit. Ronabo Joseph Makanya, all the other development players, Lebogang Mabe, Lucas Twala, So I think that's where the decision came, maybe from management to release the players, and I was also part of that.
Oh, that's interesting, man. So, I mean, when you see that Tim Gosilosh made the move, and of course, players have their different reasons. And when you look at it in today's time, I mean, the Orlando Pirates of back then was very, close with Mamelodi Sundowns. At this time around, the gap seems to be a little bit further. Do you understand why Tim Gosilosh would leave Orlando Pirates right now for Mamelodi Sundowns?
I think the relationship, like you said, Sundowns the Pirates. And sometimes what people don't understand is that club owners or club officials or CEOs of the teams and that, they do have communication with each other. Sundowns might be talking with Pirates. Maybe they've been doing that over the years, having known Coach Ulane, worked with him, and had key interest in him. I think also Coach Pito at some stage had interest in him. So I think it was something that was going to happen anytime soon, But maybe looking at the timing, it's a little bit heartbreaking for the Pirates supporters because they complain at Joe, even at the garage. I'm like, oh guys, you don't know what that man is going through. I mean, he's probably also thinking, look, I haven't been playing that much, or maybe I've been here for too long as well. And sometimes you become too comfortable as a player, to say, I've been here for so long now, and there's up-and-coming players that are coming in Bomfokeng. So maybe I need a different scenery or different challenge, so that he could try and get back to the national team, because I think he was missed, or is missed in the AFCON right now, maybe because of game time and having to come back a bit late in the season, But moving to Sundowns, I think on a personal level, I think for him, maybe looking at competing for the Champions League, because as a player, I mean, you want to win things. Sundowns is winning things, Pirates is just getting those cups there and there, but I'm sure he wants to win the league, get to the Champions League, get back into the national team.
No, man, I totally agree. With the last one on this one, do you think he'll be a success?
I think he'll do well because looking at on the way I see it because maybe Mshisho as well, he's been busy now with the AFCON, and looking at Mshisho's age as well. Obviously, even during the season, the coach Rust team is managing him well, so he's probably looking at somebody that might try filling that role in the number 10, that creative player that can still score goals. And you have a lot that can do that, So I think he can do well, but the only problem is that at Sundowns, if you fall out with an injury or no game time, it's going to be difficult for you to come back and get into the starting lineup. I mean, you look at the situation here, George, when he left Chiefs, it was the same thing, they had the opportunity, but I think maybe because they were still taking time to adjust, they put in another player there, and once the other one comes in and does well, you're down the pecking order.
But another club as well, before I jump onto Bafana Bafana matters, they're going through a crisis. I'm not sure if you've been able to see the reports and the stories. They're releasing players, Morocco Swallows at this current moment. They're reportedly not paying players either as well. Did you see this coming for this club?
It's sad, Joe. I spoke about it. I think Vuyomer spoke about it, but we were there as the senior guys having promoted the team, understanding the difficulties of the team financially. We also had the same struggle while we were there, but we managed to pull together as a group and honor games and honor sometimes training sessions. But if others could not make it, we would understand the reasons that, obviously somebody has not been paid yet. But it's been an ongoing issue, and it's sad to see it get to a point where 22 players have to lose their jobs. At the end of the day, you multiply those 22 people with their families, it's just a disaster, and at a professional level, you don't expect the team to be sending out 22 players, a team not being able to pay their players. And it makes the job difficult for Coach Steve as well, So, it's challenging times for Swallows, and hopefully, man, they'll get their finances right, man, because, we cannot lose them again. Some of us work so hard to get the team back, to see things crumbling like this, But, it's been an ongoing thing, and it's a very sad thing for South African football.
No, that's definitely true. We move on to Bafana. Of course, Bafana Bafana is coming around. They're about to play Morocco. But there's this one question I've always wanted to ask you, man, was people don't know that Cheeseboy was so talented. Could have played anywhere off the wings, behind the striker, could have played up front. So talented in his case, and also was part of the youth teams of Bafana Bafana. Is there any reason why you feel you didn't play more times for Bafana Bafana? Because I feel like you could have easily had about 50 caps for Bafana Bafana.
Yeah, true that. I would say because I actually got my first call-up, I was still in matric, and there's some games I couldn't attend due to school exams and stuff, because sometimes Stuart Baxter would give me a call-up. Somebody would play in Iceland or play in Scotland or Brazil, and sometimes I couldn't because of school. And then came the part where when I got involved with the national team, now there was chopping and changing of coaches, and every coach that comes in, wants to bring in different type of players, So I think that change came there, and also I started with that generation, Bo Penny, Bo Bradley Canel, Steven Pinar. Those are all the older guys, Pierre Issa, Old John, Matthew Booth. So it was a transition for me because I was the youngest in that national team at that time. So changing from that generation to the generation in Fitling, Bokila, Botiko,
Boshabalala.
Boshaba. I was also still part of that group, but I never really had much call-ups because I think also what dented me a lot was that whenever I was doing well throughout the season, you'd find that in the second round of the season, I might pick up an injury, then I'm out for 2 months, 3 months. So I think injuries halted me a bit, and also the chopping and changing of coaches in the national team really makes it difficult, because I feel like in South Africa we don't have any continuation in terms of a group of players that you have. Because if somebody comes in and it's a totally new setup, and then they start changing the players, and you have to work hard again to try and get back into the national team. And sometimes you're not playing at club level, because I was no longer playing at Pirates, but then when I got to Sundowns, I started playing, and then I still got my call-ups. I started getting back to the national team, and even nearly made it to the last 30 players for the World Cup.
Yeah, man, and obviously we have our current national team that's going on at this moment. AFCON, you've got some sort of experience with regards to the national team. How do you think the boys will do, and how far do you think they can go?
I think there's still a chance of actually, because I mean, you look at all these big guns already out, and looking at the record playing against even in Morocco, I think we can do well. It's going to be a tough one because the difference is this. You know what I picked up with this AFCON? The difference is that the national teams that are really, really doing well, not that we're not doing well, are the countries that have got most of their players playing abroad, and that brings a huge, huge difference. You can see it look at the Morocco team, semi-finalists of the World Cup. So Senegal as well. So you're looking at strong nations that have actually gone up a level. They've gone up a bit of a level. You can see they play in the AFCON. But I think we'll do well against Morocco. If we don't take them to extra time, I think we can snatch it. I think it's a game where we come in as underdogs, but I think we can snatch it because the guys got a good play. I'm really impressed and happy with how they've been playing. Of course, in the last match, they didn't give much because maybe the coach wanted to be more consecutive. But I think going into this one, it's a do or die. You have to win the match. It's not about trying to play for a point or anything. So I think got a solid lineup. I think a nice balance with the core of Sundowns in there. I think they've really shown that playing in the Champions League makes a huge, huge difference. And that's my urge to other teams, Pirates, Chiefs. I mean, that's where all our top players need to be playing at that level, so that it makes it easier when you come to tournaments like AFCON, because you're really used to playing at that level. So I reckon the guys will do well against Morocco. They got my 100% support. But it's not going to be an easy one.
No, 100%. And actually, before I jump onto my last two questions, I wanted to ask you, because it's caused us a bit of a debate and all that. Could Bafana Bafana ever win or be very competitive at international tournaments with majority of players being selected from the PSL and not overseas?
I think it's going to take us a bit of time. I mean, countries that have won it, they took time as well. But if you look at the crop of players that are playing, it's players that have been together from the under-20s to the under-23s. Now I'm talking the Morocco team, talking the Senegal team, the Ghana team. So there's always continuation in terms of the group of players we have in the under-20 national team and the under-23. And also what they do is that at that age, 20 years to 23, now they start creating moves for them to go play abroad, drop them off in some in Italy, France, so that they can gain that experience as well and bring it back home. So in South Africa, we're still caught up in keeping the players here at home, but forgetting that we're not improving our level at the international stage, because our players are not competing weekly with all these guys. I mean, if you compete week in, week out with a Barcelona, with a Marseille, you're bound to meet those players in one of the international tournaments. So it makes your job a bit easier as a player, because now you have the understanding in terms of the level of the other players. So we need to make a change. We need to send more players abroad, and we need to have a real competition in the league where you're having three teams that really need to compete for the league as well, compete in the Champions League. I think from there we can actually have a good source in terms of building a strong national team. Because right now we're crossing our fingers. It's a hope. It's not we don't have that belief that I will go all the way to the finals. We'll go all the way to the semis.
I know it's a great plan, and I leave you with this last question. You can answer it however you would like. I always ask my guests, this is the last question. The state of South African football, how would you describe South African football now?
I'd say we average. We average right now. If I'm looking at the teams, except Sundowns. If I'm looking at other teams, I think it's difficult for them to catch up to where Sundowns level is. The group of players that are also coming into the league. I mean, you have players that have just played at varsity and he's already in the professional ranks. Then he plays 2 seasons and then he's gone. So there's no growth. There's no challenge for a team like Sundowns. There's no challenge for players to actually improve themselves in terms of improving their play. So for now, it has to improve, and the players need to make that happen. The coaches need to make that happen, because I mean, I know it's results based, but I think we're losing a bit of our culture in terms of how we play as South Africa. I mean, if you look at your team, there was a certain way, there was a certain culture they created, and we've lost a bit of that. And I think we need to get back to that and start believing that we are a great nation, with all these facilities. I mean, we become a laughing stock out here with some of the African countries that, you guys have everything, you have the facilities, there's the money. But guys, why aren't you getting up to that level? And us in our countries, we don't have those kind of resources, but, we are always up there with the best, So there's a big change that needs to be done. A lot needs to be restructured, in terms of from the development, because players are coming in that are not properly developed. A player can't even control the ball at the PSL level. Our finishing is lacking in the PSL level. You find coaches, Kevin Hunt, complaining week in, week out. Steve Compella, guys, the final third, even the Chiefs, when Arthur was still the coach, same problem, guys, the finishing. Rivera is also complaining about it now, guys, the finishing. So if there is a problem like that, why can't we involve the guys that were hitting the back of the net? Get your Pele Nomvetes, get your Zumas. Benny is already sharing his knowledge in Manchester United, whereby if things were properly done here, he should be the one trying to help our strikers in South Africa, helping the national team. You Lucas Khatebe. We need to get those people involved so that they can share what they've learned abroad.
No, man. And that's been summarized, guys. And that's how he feels about South African football. I totally agree with the points that you have. And hopefully we can get to a place where we all able to work together, get the coaches in one room, and then let's find a conclusion. Just want to take this time to say, Cheeseboy, thank you so much for coming through. I really do appreciate it, man. I really wish you all the best, for real. I met Cheeseboy a couple of weeks ago, or last month, or late last year. I remember I met you recently, and I can tell you now, one of the most humble players I've ever seen. For the talent you had, you could be a little bit arrogant, but you choose not to be. And we say thank you so much.
No, thank you so much, Pula. Thank you for having me.
Nah, man, keep well and always take care, man.
Okay, you too. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Who was up to par and who became our star? But also, who fell short in this game we all love? Let's find out on Moegoe of the Week.
The stars of this week is definitely Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, they stole the transfer window on the last day. Guys, they got lodged, guys. And people act like it's not a big thing. It's a big thing. This guy was the prize jewel of Orlando Pirates. This was the poster boy. I mean, we didn't even know when his contract expired. When you talk about star quality, yeah, I hear you about Saleng. But this guy is the guy. And he showed it over a period. No matter if he's injured or suspended, when he comes back, he shows it on the pitch. Those are the stars of the week. Now for the Moegoes. This transfer for Lodge going to Mamelodi Sundowns caused an outrage. Not only him, but also Tashreeq Matthews moving there, and Mateus as well moving there. And people were just clouding Mamelodi Sundowns with hate and saying, oh, they're ruining football and all that. And I understand where you guys are coming from, because I was once there. I was young as well. I was young and I was just thinking, how could players just go to Mamelodi Sundowns and not play? I just did not understand. And then it hit me. Sundowns don't care. They do not give a damn. We out here sitting here thinking to ourselves, oh, they're ruining careers. No, they've only got one mission. That's to stay number one. And South Africans, I'm going to say it. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I think we should be grateful to Mamelodi Sundowns. I really do. And I say grateful because we have a team that has a philosophy. We have a team that's trying to strive for greatness. We have a team that's trying to compete in the CAF competition. We have a team that is seeping into the Bafana Bafana DNA. Y'all seeing it yourselves. It's helping. So the only thing I wish you guys would say is, you wish it was your club. And not that it's Mamelodi Sundowns. If you wish it was your club, go tell your club then. You damn moos.
It's time for Bet of the Week. Get ready to win big by placing the right bets on the right games.
There's so much club football to look forward to this week. Guys, like, I had to pick so many games from just this week, never mind the weekend. That's how much we have to deal with. Game number 1, Nottingham Forest at home against my beloved Arsenal. A draw, Arsenal, and over 1.5 goals. Morocco against Bafana Bafana. Over 1.5. Aston Villa versus Newcastle. I've gone with under 3.5 goals. That means there won't be more than 3 goals in the game. Barcelona going up against Osasuna. Barcelona straight win. Manchester City against Burnley. Man City is going to rip them apart. Man City win and over 2.5 goals. Liverpool against Chelsea. I've gone with the Liverpool draw and over 1.5. Wolves against Manchester United. I can't trust either team, so I've gone with over 1.5 goals. Atletico going up against Rayo Vallecano. I've gone with Atletico Madrid straight win. Now those games, the odds add up to 13.80. So that means if you take 350 rands, it turns into 5,400. Now if you want to win with me, click on the link below.
Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za.
We've come to the end of the show. It's almost time, guys. Morocco going up against Bafana Bafana. I'm excited. But before you do go, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes. Go and enjoy the game.
How's it? I'm Brian. I'm Brian, but I'm Brian. Anyway, as I said, there I was. Sunrisers versus Capitals. Row G, seat 17. What a great game. I decide to be clever. Leave early, skip the queues. Let me tell you something. The early bird does not catch the worm. Because birds don't have hands. Yes, you wretched bird. Bri, your cousin. Evan, can you stop with the lawnmower? There's people filming here. So anyway, I decided to catch the last 2 balls at home. Like, not literally, you know what I mean. I'm on the phone and there it is. Stubbs hits the 6 of his life.
That's gone a long, long way.
Guy catches it.
As long as we keep doing it, I'd say we...
Brilliant. It's amazing. Then he stands up. What do I see? He's in my seat. My seat. My catch. My wife, who decided to stay, giving him a kiss on the cheek, Moegoe. My chance at winning 2 million rand. Gone. So I could save myself 2 minutes in traffic. Well, I caught that one.
Stay in your seat and get your share of 2 million rand at the Betway SA20 with a clean one-handed catch.
Go!